But speaking of Sega, and I don't know how long I'll spend on this topic. We'll see if I can even make something out of it. But it was something that I wanted to. I wanted to make a YouTube video, and it's like I can't really think of like the words to describe it. But so I was like, let's just throw it in the Streamcast and see what we do. But this is old news now. I believe this was from this IGN video here, June 10th, where Takashi Iizuka says in the interview that he wanted to make, and you can see it if you guys watch my screen, you'll see him say it.
There.
He wants to get the team to try to make a Sonic Adventure 3. He did clarify later on that they don't have a Sonic Adventure game in development or even anything like that. But this is something that he's talked about for a long time. And I was just, it was something that I wanted to bring up, to say a couple things about it. One, I called this shit. So a couple years ago, and this is not on record because I don't think I ever said this on stream. I might have, I don't know, but I don't think I did. I was saying that I think the way that they should, if they want to bring back Sonic Adventure 3, because Iizuka said at the Sonic, I don't know, Fest or whatever, whatever the Sonic shit show where they showed off a couple of Sonic games.
I was gonna say the same one where they had the singing and the guy gave the microphone to the guy.
So when he took the fucking microphone from Johnny from Crush 40's hands, I don't remember if it was that or not, but what I do know is that during that, sorry, I have a crying baby because Diana had to go get her laundry. What I do know is that during that he said I'm paraphrasing and maybe even twisting his words a little bit, but basically what the idea that I was getting out of it is that he wants to make a Sonic Adventure 3, but they don't want to make it and have it fail, and the consistency of the company at the time, in them, has not made them feel comfortable enough, specifically him feel comfortable enough that they could do that. And at the time, I remember saying, this is what they should do. They should make a new type of Sonic game, or, have certain elements that could translate to adventure or something, but, something that could work to that. Make the game, have it be what it is, learn from the mistakes of that game, and then if it's pretty well received and people are like, we like this, but we want to see this change and stuff like that, then go to the next step and call it Sonic Adventure 3. As much as I would like it to just be a flat out, this is a direct sequel from back then, it feels like the old games. It's I don't trust this team to do that. I think that's a really
clearly they don't trust themselves either.
No,
they've never tried to do it.
No, exactly. And but based on what he says in this interview, and I can't find his words here. I'm kind of watching the video while I'm talking to see if he says it. I don't remember when it is.
You sent me pictures.
I do remember that. I don't know how long ago that was, though, if I could find it quick. But
yeah, you just got to scroll up a little bit. Back to 610.
610. Hang on. But basically, I just remember, let me see here. Here it is. That's right. He says, I've mentioned this in previous interviews, but I would like to continue the Sonic Adventure series at some point. So I haven't really thought about my next game yet, but I would hope all the work we put into Sonic Frontiers can be used to make it exactly. So, I've had, issues with some of the ways that Iizuka-san has handled Sonic, but I think that if that is truly what his long-term plan was, that was extremely smart. I think that is exactly what you needed to do. Sonic Frontiers has a lot of neat new ideas, and you could absolutely use some of these to make a Sonic Adventure 3. Now, when I look at Sonic Frontiers, does it look like Sonic Adventure? Absolutely not. But I'm also not expecting anybody to make some kind of sequel that looks like what would have been Sonic Adventure 3 in 2003 or something like that. And I totally think that you could kind of recreate at least the look and feel with what they have here. That being said, I did want to, and this is another thing I wanted to preface or add rather, for a better term, if they do go ahead at some point, and this is all, just in theory because they said they don't plan on making it right now, but they want to so bad, him especially. If you do make a Sonic Adventure 3, there are a lot of things that Sonic has not done in a very long time that you need to do. One, multiple characters with different gameplay styles. I wish I could say that's not a given. Like, they could just maybe do Sonic and Shadow and call it that and just have them do the boost system. But Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 both have the multiple characters with different play styles. I do think that's a part of those games' DNA. It's that old school late 90s, early 2000s 3D platforming style where you had a bunch of different little mini games. Like Spyro has a bunch of different types of games that are just mini games within the game. Sonic Adventure does that to an extent where you basically have 6 different stories and each one is the levels play out differently with their own way of playing it out. So, Big the Cat's whole story is a fishing mini game. You just do it a couple of times, whatever, something like that. So that is something they have to think about. They have to think about, and that's a bigger thing. Story, it has to be more serious. I don't care what anybody says. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are very serious. Also, do you go on from a direct sequel to that to add on to the story part there, I guess. And those are kind of bigger things, right? In my opinion. How does it look? Does it look like modern Sonic, or does it look like Sonic Adventure 3 if it was released in 2025? I don't know. To go on to smaller things, there's a lot of small things that I think help the feel of Sonic Adventure. Every character has one theme song, and that theme song is remixed a million times over. You keep those theme songs, right? Like Sonic's theme, it doesn't matter, was remixed there's the original version, and then there's the Sonic Adventure 2 version, and then there's a portion of it that plays in Twinkle Park, and they use that song in so many places. Knuckles' theme song, it's the same exact song in both games, just one is a remix, kind of thing, and same with Tails. So there's small things like that too. I want to believe that he and his team understand all of that. There's a lot. It's not as easy as it sounds to just be let's just make levels that look like Sonic Adventure 3 or Sonic Adventure and then call it 3 and whatever. You gotta go back and you really, really have to study those games. Voice actors, do you get the old one? Sonic Adventure 3 is a nostalgia game if you make it. I like the new voice actors, but hardcore Sonic Adventure fans are going to be a little thrown off if Roger Craig Smith is whoa, little egghead. It's a different style. Do you get the old ones? Can you have... Hey, we've already proven we can have multiple Sonic voice actors at once. We have one in the movie, one in the Netflix show, and one for the games right now. You got to think about a lot of things like that. You want it to the look and feel. So even though I think... And I'll finish it with this, and then if you have anything to say. Even though I think... the idea of let's just get a good Sonic game with new concepts, blah, 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 and then maybe we can transfer some of that to Sonic Adventure 3. Smart idea, but it's also a lot, and I mean a lot, easier said than done. But anyway, there you go. Do you have you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. So
that I don't really got anything.
That was a me segment then.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much was. I just kind of agreed with everything you said because, Sonic Adventure is one of those games that we both grew up with, so we're going to have, pretty similar opinions.
I could literally go on, and I'm shortening this, by the way, just for the Streamcast sake. Like, I could, as somebody who's like an expert in those two games, I could, honest to God, make a whole video about every major and minor detail that I think they either need to nail or it would help if they did. Again, do they have to get the old voice actors? No. Is it going to help a lot? Yeah, you're going to make... It's really going to help.
I think the biggest thing that people will be looking for, regardless of if they're old, like, veteran players of the series or newer ones, I think the newer ones and the old ones are going to both be looking for an entirely, like, revamped, updated, super fleshed out fucking Chow Garden system.
That's another thing. The Chow Garden is a whole programming beast in and of itself. Again, I could make a whole video. There's a lot of things. And then also, like, the question is, do you do a remake? Actually, that's what I would do. I would start with a remake.
That would be the biggest and easiest way to gauge people's interest in it anyways.
I would start with a remake, built from the ground up. See if you can even make a game like that. Because if you can do a successful remake of Sonic Adventure 1, and then obviously 2, then you can do 3. You can. And there's no better way to study it than literally try to recreate it from the ground up. But that is a lot of work. That is a lot of work, right? Like, but it's a lot of work regardless. I think that actually the next step, if you did a remake... with some differences, you could even add the boost system to it. It's like, do I want the boost system? Like, I kind of like Sonic Adventure when you just read it. But you could try it. You experiment, do some things, and then in the next game, people are like, we did not like this in the remake. Okay, we can change that. And for the remakes, you're allowed to play it a little safe. People are okay with like a shot-for-shot remake. But for Sonic Adventure 3, I don't think you can play it safe. I think you actually have to. You got to get out there and really do something not too crazy, but that feels like it and also innovates Sonic Adventure in some sort of way. Mm-hmm. And because of that, that's why I'm like, I actually think the next step is not Sonic Adventure 3. I think the next step is remake. But anyway,
agree.
I like I said, we could literally do an entire Streamcast with me just ranting on that if I really wanted to. And I thought about it, and this is why I was like, should I make this a video or not? And I'm like, honestly, my thoughts would be so scattered. Like, there's so much to say for me personally. Like, there's so many little things. But anyway, I really am done with that now, because otherwise I'll go on if we don't move on now.